10 minutes, 15 minutes before, and then 5 minutes before. After, and then 15 minutes before, and then 5 minutes before. So yeah, so I 11 Salam first I for an hour, just 25 minutes.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah. We give praise to Almighty Allah for giving us the opportunity to gather here again this year. We ask Allah to benefit all of us, inshallah, in Jannah, with all of this effort that we're putting in, traveling, leaving our jobs, our homes, and spending money and all this. We ask Allah to accept it, inshallah. So, yeah. So, and I guess that's why we're doing all of this. So I will be running through this lecture a little bit fast because there's so much to say and there's not enough time. So inshallah, maybe towards the end of the lecture, we can get some questions that will help us to further clarify. So Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, all praise is due to Almighty Allah. So we seek His guidance and mercy and wisdom. May the peace and blessing of Allah be on Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The main topic, Al-Jannah, is so clear, self-explanatory. And this is the journey of our life. Just as we're here, we human beings, we need to realize that we are on a journey. We all probably took an airplane coming over here. We stopped at some airports. We never made the mistake of thinking the airport where we're supposed to connect with the next flight is our final destination. Did we? No. The same way. So you can look at our journey in this life like we're in a train station. Actually, every human being has 3 tickets when we're coming. The first ticket is, and it's one-way ticket, by the way. So the first ticket is when we're given birth to. That's turn off. You can't go back to your mother's womb. I can't. So that's it. So we're here, and when we die, the second ticket is turned away. And then we have one more. And that one is the ticket of when we stand in with Allah in the day of judgment. So the ticket that will, inshallah, be leading some people to hellfire and some to Jannah. We ask Allah to make us among those that we end up in Jannah, inshallah. So, and again, Allah reminds us of the significance of this journey that we are making so that we don't get distracted with, of course, there are a lot of distraction in this world. So, and because of brevity, I'll just read it very quickly. That's chapter 57, verse 20. So Allah says, know that the life of this world is but amusement and diversion and adornment and boasting to one another and competition in increase of wealth and children. Like the example of rain, whose resulting plant growth pleases the tillers. Then it dries, and you see it turn yellow. Then it becomes scattered, debris. And in the hereafter is severe punishment and forgiveness from Allah. And approval. What is the world? What is the worldly life except the enjoyment of delusion? That is the most important part of that chapter. Verse. This word is not real. Let's just say it like that. It's not. And Allah said it. وَمَا الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا إِلَّا مَتَاعُ الْغُرُورِ. It is deception. I mean, we can quickly think about it ourselves. I mean, somebody who has lost their parents, just think about it. This is your father, this is my father, this is my mother. When they were here, they were like the real thing. And now they died, and you can't even, all that is left of them is what? Memory. And so on and so. This life is not real. That's what Allah is saying. It is not real. And let's not give it what it is not. So, because of time, so the part of the thing that distracts us are the temptation, will be pursuit of wealth, fame, social status, and all so on and so forth. Let us not fall for that. Now, when Allah told us that this life is not real, there are another part of the Quran now tells us that, you know what, the real life is the paradise, is the Jannah. All of these ones that we have the chandeliers, we have the tower buildings, it's not real. Wallahi, it's not real. It is not, because Allah says so. And so, but here Allah is telling us in Surah Al-Ankabut that وَمَا هَذِهِ الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا إِلَّا لَهْوٌ وَلَعِبٌ وَإِنَّ الدَّارَ الْآخِرَةَ لَهِيَ الْحَيَوَانُ لَوْ كَانُوا يَعْلَمُونَ. And that's the key word there. وَإِنَّ الدَّارَ الْآخِرَةَ لَهِيَ الْحَيَوَانُ. The life of the hereafter is the real animated life, not this one. Please believe that. And that's what paradise is all about, to give us real enjoyment. So what really is paradise? So Jannah, of course, the paradise, please don't confuse it with the sky. This sky is not equivalent to paradise. So even sometimes the word heaven is not adequate. So that's why we're going to try to use paradise or Jannah. So Jannah or paradise in Islam is the eternal abode of bliss and reward prepared by Allah for the righteous believers. It is described as a place of unimaginable beauty, delight, surpassing any earthly experience. La ilaha illallah. We have no idea what is waiting for us in paradise. And that's what actually what one eye of the Quran says. So I'm going to try to stick to the slide so I don't get carried away. So we have no idea, yes. But just take it that Jannah is life of enjoyment, pure enjoyment, not contaminated enjoyment that we have here. Whatever enjoyment we have here is not pure, it's not real. I mean, you have some ache and pain, and if you fall in love, then it breaks your heart. If you get rich, then somebody steals it away from you. If you, name it. So, let's not go too far. So, whatever we have here is not real. That's the whole idea. So, what does Jannah look like? So, Quran portrays Jannah as garden of pleasures with lush greenery, flowing rivers. Did you walk around the hotel yet? Right? The hotel here? See? That's fake. But it's a good illustration of what to expect to the extent that that's what we're familiar with. But as good as that is, whatever they're trying to put together here is nothing compared to the beauty, the lush greenery. You know, they have some river here, right? No, not comparable. Abundant fruit. Believer will reside in lofty chambers, reclining on adorned couches, and surrounded by pure companions. The environment is one of perpetual peace, not contaminated, free from hardship and suffering. That's what Jannah looks like. Well, because in the Quran, and I will give this to myself and everybody as an assignment, please just open the back of your Quran at home and go for the index and go under the Jannah or whatever they enter the heaven or paradise, and just it's all over the Quran. So, but my own favorite area in these two, there are many, but I just picked these two for brevity. Surah Al-Insan, the man, that's chapter 76, verse 10 to 22. You can read it all by yourself. I want to spend more time on things like resources that are not very readily available, or maybe people are not very conversant or using them. So I want you to go read this yourself. It gives the description of the provisions that have been made for the people of Jannah. So chapter 76, verse 10 to 12, Surah Al-Ihsan, and then we have Surah Al-Safat, chapter 37, verse 40 to 49. I mean, very beautiful examples of the provision that Allah has made for the people of paradise, inshallah. Now, so how big is Jannah? How big is it? Yeah, I mean, so we're going to try to listen to this hadith here to give us an idea before I give my little comment. I heard this is an hadith from Mu'adh bin Jabal. I heard the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying, paradise has 100 grades, and each of which is as big as the distance between the heaven and the earth. The highest of them is Firdaus, and the best of them is also Firdaus. The throne is above Firdaus, and from it spring forth the rivers of paradise. If you ask Allah, ask Him for Firdaus. Meaning, in any time, so as we also go along these descriptions, we will be giving ourselves some hint as to how can we prepare ourselves to maximize our position, our rank in Jannah. And here's one of it. When anytime you're going to ask Allah for the biggest things. You can't go to وَلِلَّهِ الْمَثَلُ الْأَعْلَى. So Allah belongs to the best example. You can't go to the worldly people who are rich and you're begging them for $5. I mean, they're like, what's wrong with you? That's why you're here? Ask for a big thing with Allah. Don't be shy. Okay? So this is the lesson from this one. Now, and then we go into, that's the Arabic text of that hadith. But I also want to say a few comments about the size of the Jannah, just to put it in perspective. You see, here, for instance, you know the one who gets the lowest Jannah, you see the Prophet says in 100 grades, right? The one who gets the lowest Jannah, do you know what the size of it is? It gets 10 times the size of this heart that we're in. You know, all of from where? From Philippines to Pacific Ocean to Atlantic or whatever you call it, the North Pole and the South Pole. The one who gets the lowest Jannah will have 10 times the size of this earth. Can you imagine? Jannah is big, and you have no idea. So much so, and science supports it, that when we begin to talk about the galaxies, the heavenly body, now, we don't talk in kilometer, because it is useless. Who can tell me, how do we measure the distance? Light years. Light years. And what does light years means? the distance the ray of light travel in 1 second. Now, who can tell us how far that is? It's in thousands. Okay? Now, so much so that when Allah is telling us that He has decorated the lower heaven with stars, all of these stars that our astronauts, or whatever they call themselves, are discovering, they are in the lower heaven. They are what? In the lower heaven. Remember, 100 grades. They're not even near the real thing. And yet, in that lower heaven, the closest one they say is 4-year speed of light. Meaning, the light will travel for about 4 years before its light reaches us. At that speed of, I believe it's 3,800 something per second. You know, unimaginable speed. You know the speed of light, right? And that should give you an idea of how big the universe is. So please, let us not be deceived by all these, America is the greatest, Japan is the biggest. It's nothing. It's not even up to the speck of your ear when you compare it to the galaxy. And I'm not the one saying this. Google it. Our so-called science that sometimes is making us feel like we're independent of God, they're discovering that we're so small. We don't even count in the scheme of the real thing. That's why sometimes when an asteroid or whatever it is coming, it should not collide with us because it's just going to kick us away like somebody kick paper around. That's it. So it's not real. We said that before. So let's move on. I'm just stressing that point. So, this is our so-called earth, our world. It's nothing. It is nothing. Science says so. This is not a religious talk. Go read it. So therefore, let's not fall for it. Let's not be distracted by it. So, gates of Jannah. Because we're still warming up. We haven't gotten into Jannah yet. And I really want us to get into Jannah and really begin to see what is going on here. Huh? And I don't want this to delay us. Okay, but we need to kind of give ourselves a little tour here. So, gate of Jannah, the Prophet said, if anyone contributes a pair of anything in God's part, he will be invited to enter by the gates of paradise, for paradise has gates. I believe it's 8. And then 7, then the 7, and then the Jannah has, I know they have one difference. Jannah has 8, hellfire has 7. Okay, so now here's the thing. Whether it's 7, I believe it's 8. But here's what is really important. What can you and I do to make sure that we're able to enter? We become, the people, the angel will be calling, come and enter from my gate. Come and enter from my gate. Come and enter from my gate. That's the real importance in this hadith. So, if anyone contributes a pair of anything in God's part, he will be invited to enter by the gates of paradise. For paradise has gates. Those who engage in prayer will be invited to enter by the gate of prayer. Are you doing your prayer? That's the key message here. You must, because that's part of the preparation for the paradise. Those who take part in jihad will be invited to enter by the gate of jihad. Remember, jihad is not only that you take sword, it's also part of it. But, even coming here is struggling. You have to struggle to join the plane, to pack your bag. That's jihad. You just have to make sure that you give it good intention. for Allah's sake. You're not just coming here to meet somebody, but you're coming here to obey and do what Allah wants you to do. So what you have done here now is also jihad. Ask Allah to accept it, so inshallah, when that we get to Jannah, the angel can say, yes, you were there on the June 24. You did it as jihad for me, for Allah. Okay, come and enter through this gate, inshallah. Okay, those who give sadaqah will be invited by the gate of sadaqah, and those who fast will be invited to enter by the gate of fasting, which is called Rayyan. Abu Bakr said, radiyallahu anhu, no distress will rest on him who is invited to enter by those gates. But will anyone be invited to enter by all those gates? Abu Bakr, mashallah, he wants to be excellent in everything. He's not satisfied by just entering one. And you should be too, you know. So they say, yeah. The Prophet said, yes, I hope you may be one of them. People may have to enter more than from one gate. So may Allah count us among those. Okay, let's keep going. The soil of Jannah. What do you think it's like? All these are contaminated, whatever. You know, you touch it now, oh, it's contaminated. Don't touch it. Don't. No. At the end of a very long hadith, I think where the Prophet was going to heaven to receive the prayer that we are saying now. We can't go through that now. At the end of that hadith, the Prophet said, when the Prophet was admitted into the Jannah, he said, and I was then brought into paradise and saw in its domes of pearls, and its soil was musk. Can you imagine that? The soil of paradise is musk. Can you think of the oil and the beauty and the pearls? So anyway, yeah. ثم ودخلت للجنة فإذا هي جنابل لؤلؤ وإذا ثوابها المسك. So that's the soil, the trees of Jannah. Abu Hurairah reported that the Messenger of Allah said, there is not a tree in paradise except that its tree is of gold. Can you imagine that? Do you have a golden tree here anywhere in the world? No. Every tree this is the hadith of the Prophet, and I try to make sure that most of these hadiths are the ones that have been authenticated. These are very good hadiths that is reliable. So, the tree of Jannahs, they are made of golds. The soil is made of mist. So, you haven't seen anything yet. Now, just to summarize all of this, the Prophet ﷺ gives us an idea so that we, I just give those samples. The Prophet ﷺ said, I have, just to summarize all of the different unimaginable things that we meet in Jannah. So he said, I have prepared, Allah said, I have prepared for my pious slave things which have never been seen by any eye. Okay. Things that your eyes has never seen, or heard by any ear, or imagined by a human being. If you wish, you can recite this verse from the Holy Quran. فَلَا تَعْلَمْ نَفْسٌ مَا أُخْفِيَ لَهُمْ مِنْ قُرَّةِ أَعْيُنٍ جَزَاءً بِمَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ. That no soul knows what is kept hidden for them of joy as a reward for what they used to do. So that's to kind of put it quickly that, we can finish this. And because of time also too, I'm going to have to jump because there are some areas that are really more interesting. It only gets better the more you read about Jannah. So this particular section is telling about the beautiful fair female guarded in pavilion. That's another one in the Quran, chapter 55, verse 72, where it is narrated by Abdullah ibn Qais. Allah's messenger said, in paradise there is a pavilion made of a single hollow pearl,
Unknown caller.
60 miles wide. Is that me? Okay. So 60 miles wide, in each corner of which there are wives who will not see those in the other corner. And the believers will visit and enjoy them. And there are two gardens, the utensils and contents of which are made of silver. And two gardens, the utensils and content of which are made of so and so, that is gold. And nothing will prevent the people staying in Garden of Eden from seeing their Lord except the curtain of majesty over his face. Allahu Akbar. Yeah, so this is just a little introduction from the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and this is in Bukhari. Is it that I thought they were going to... Are you showing my screen? Oh, okay. I don't want them to be looking at me. I'm going to get nervous. Okay. So, this hadith just was telling us that there are two types of garden, and they are all made of gold. Everything in it was made of gold. The trees, and we have just talked about that, right? The utensils. So you go to one section, everything will be made of silver. Your chair, your table, your whatever. You go to another section, another garden, it will be made of gold. Everything in there, everything. So, that's what this is all about. And there is a description of that too in Surah Al-Insan that I paraphrased the other time. And there will be passed around among them vessels of silver and goblets of crystals. There's just so many descriptions. Those things that are in the Quran, just note the ayah. You can read those off by yourself. And then let's talk about the one that may be a little bit hidden, more in the hadith. So these silver things, they're not even the kind of silver that you know here, as that hadith has told us. The things that your eyes has never seen and your ear has never heard of any of these things. And most of the things you see in Jannah has never crossed the mind of any human being. La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar. So, this is real. And I guess for Allah is just trying to tell us this based on whatever it is that we can relate to. So I think this is left blank here. Let's get to it. Okay. Now we've made a little journey around the Jannah, right? We talk about the tree, the sun, So I want us to spend some time on the people of Jannah. There is sometimes conversation between the people of Jannah themselves. But this particular ayah is extremely important to establish the basis for the relationship in Jannah. And that is, وَنَزَعْنَا مَا فِي صُدُورِهِمْ مِنْ غِلٍّ إِخْوَانًا عَلَى سُرُرٍ مُتَقَابِلِينَ. This is in Surah Al-Hijr. And we will remove whatever is in their breast of resentment. So they will be brothers facing each other on throne. Now, we're entering into the social lives in Jannah now, right? And we talk about most of the enjoyments and whatever it is we have here in this world being contaminated. Now we are now entering the territory of purity, pure beauty. Pure beauty in every concept of it. And this ayah is introducing us into it. You know, here in this life, we have bad feelings towards each other. Yes. Let's face it. Even husband and wife. That's why I say, you know, in this life, this life, I love you, then something happens somewhere along the line. Then we don't know what happened to the love. Then, you know, even the parents, you know, this is my child. I give back to him or her. I do this. They can have difficulty among themselves, right? All of this is not there in Jannah at all. And this is what this ayah is telling us. So the social life in paradise is very lively. But the foundation of it is that there's no bad feeling towards one another. The Prophet said, everybody will be like ala qalbin wahid. Everyone will be like we all have the same heart. No resentment, no ill feeling, no bad thought. Unlike here, in our life here, take it. It is part and parcel of being human being. That sometimes you have bad feelings. You have resentment. You're frustrated. You're angry. And that shows up in your behavior towards the other person. Allah is telling us here, there's no such thing. The moment you see your fellow inmate in paradise, it's all joy, happiness, no resentment, no jealousy, no bad feeling, no such thing. Allah take it away from your heart. And by the way, you have to understand that part of getting into the Jannah is that you are not the same creation that you are in now. We'll get into that in a little bit. Let's keep moving. So it is well easy to do that because you're not the same creation. Allah transform you into a better creation that can better enjoy the pleasure and the beauty and the purity of Jannah. So don't feel like, it's possible. You are not going to be the same creation. Remember what Allah says here? And we will remove whatever is in their breast. Remember the thing they did to Prophet ﷺ when he was very young? And then some angel came, they opened his heart. We read it in Surah, right? And then they clean his heart and they put it back there. So they remove this kind of feeling from the Prophet ﷺ. Allah will remove it for you and I too before we even get to the Jannah, inshallah. And when we get to the Jannah, it's going to be enjoyment unlimited. So we need to move fast. Oh my God, 10 minutes. But we're just going to skip this. But the importance of here is conversation between inhabitants of Jannah and dweller of hell. The people of Jannah, they will be able to see the people of hellfire. Yes. And so much so there was an interesting conversation here where one was saying, you, I'm going to paraphrase because we've got to move very fast. We have a lot of beautiful stuff to talk about. You almost made me to go astray. And now you are in hellfire there. Did you find the promise of Allah to be true? You say, yes, I did. Okay, you just stay there. For real. SubhanAllah, Allah made it such way that you can see people. I think this is another one of such conversation in Surah Al-A'raf. And then, let's just keep going. Now, here you go. In Jannah, there's no worship. You see, you're on vacation. Real vacation. From headache, hassle, I have to wake up for sahur, I have to go make you do, I have to keep time 5 o'clock, I have to pray Fajr, I have to pray Zuhr. No! Done. Your own vacation. Do whatever you want. Allah Akbar. This is the Jannah. Allah Messenger said, the first group of people who will enter paradise will be glittering like the moon when it is full. They will not spit or blow their nose or relieve nature. You're going to eat the best food you want, however you want it. You don't need to go to the restroom. Allah Akbar. You will sweat it all out, I believe, like misk. I'm not the one who said it. This is what the hadith said. Their utensils will be of gold, and their combs of gold and silver. Their center, and so on. Okay. That's different. Yeah. I think we got it. No worship in because we have to talk about other things. In Jannah, you have market there. Yes. And now, you have to keep in mind, the Prophet was trying to communicate what's going on in Jannah. Okay. What's going on in Jannah based on what the people can understand, what they can relate it. In those days, the marketplace is not just a place of selling and buying in the Arab culture, and I think the same thing is still up to now here, even in the United States. The marketplace is usually also a place where people demonstrate their culture, right? Where you can show your cultural things, and that's where they will send people to go and sing. And you have it in the downtown now, right? And all over the United States. So in the night, people flock out and go and hang out, right? In the downtown, right? So there's something like that too in Jannah, but of course, not. You see, anytime we use name, this is a very important concept also. Anytime we use name in reference to the Jannah and all these things, the similarity only hangs in the name. Please, in terms of the quality, the quantity, in terms of size, is completely different. Okay? So if we say, you will enter Jannah, I will enter Jannah, I think it is said that the one who will enter, you're not going to enter with this small body. You're going to enter like the body of Adam, big. And you're going to have the power of 100 men. I mean, these are all stated in Hadith. So, I mean, it's just the name that is similar. But the actual thing is completely what? Transformed and different. Okay? Think about it. In our worldly life here, these big pythons that is carrying the electricity. What is it carrying? Electricity, right? Is it the same electricity that is in this microphone? No! Because that one, you touch it, you just be fried and die. Right? But we still call it electricity. Both of them. So in that manner too, the similarity is only in the name. So don't please be, don't limit yourself just because they said the name. Souk, market. It goes beyond that. It is a kind of market that you've never thought of in your life. I've never thought of it, and I've never seen it, and I've never heard of it. Okay, here's another interesting one. The killing of the dead. Now the people who have gotten into the paradise, they've gotten into the paradise. And I told you the other time, based on some of the hadith, so the people of the Jannah, of the paradise, they will be on one side. There is going to be a partition between them and the people of the hellfire. I told you they can see each other. La ilaha illallah. And these are the real thing. This is not just stories. This is the real thing we're struggling for. So what will happen? To paraphrase very quickly, you can read up some of this hadith on your own. Allah will command the angel to bring death that we're so afraid of. Oh, I don't want to die. Oh, he's died. We're all sad. Okay. People are now in Jannah. Allah will command the angel to bring death, and death will be brought forward as a ram. And Allah will say, kill it, slaughter it, and they will slaughter the death. Now, this is and that's the Arabic text of that hadith. So, once death is slaughtered, what that simply means is that the people of Jannah, they now have this unimaginable, enjoyment. Because this is a big reassurance. All the while, they have made it to the gate of Jannah, they have made it to their house, they are now in Jannah. This is not sure what's going on. Okay, are we still going to die? No. Now this is to show them, for real, you are not going to die anymore. You don't have to worry about death in Jannah. And remember, خَالِدِينَ فِيهَا أَبَدًا. So physically, Allah will show you that yes, you are here to stay forever. And all of this enjoyment is yours to keep. You don't have to worry about it. And this is a great moment of excitement for the people of paradise. Also, because the people of the hellfire is also looking at it, this is the greatest moment of sorrow for them. And it is an ultimate despair. Because now they see it. For real, they're not going to die in that hellfire that they're in. They will be there, خَالِدِينَ فِيهَا أَبَدًا. So may Allah protect us and make us among people of we've got to finish and get to the climax, because I wouldn't like it if we don't get there. So where are we now? Final dua in Jannah. So now when they have seen this, they will be so happy. We're not going to die again. We're here to stay for life. And then that's when they say this prayer. دعواهم فيها سبحانك اللهم وتحيتهم فيها السلام وآخر دعواهم أن الحمد لله رب العالمين. And when you think, this is it, no, it only gets better. And I don't have time, but I'm going to run through this very quickly. And Allah will say, okay, hold on. I still have something for you, people of Jannah. And we were like, what else? This hadith said it. Abu Sa'id reported, God Messenger as telling that God Most High will say to the inhabitant of paradise, O inhabitant of paradise, to which they will reply, and at thy service and pleasure, our Lord, in whose hand is all good. He will ask them if they are pleased. And they will reply, why should we not be pleased, O Lord, when thou hast given us what thou hast not given to any of thy creation? He will say, shall I not give you something more excellent than that? All of these things that we describe is theirs. The lowest person has 10 times the size of this earth, made of gold, silver, rivers, and all this other stuff. So, then still yet, Allah says, I have more for you. وَلَدَيْنَا مَزِيدٌ. And to us, Allah, we have more always. So Allah says, I want to give you more. Oh Lord, what can be more excellent than that, than what you have given us? He will say, I shall cause my good pleasure to alight on you, and I shall never afterward be displeased with you. Allahu Akbar. Death is gone. They don't have to worry about death. And you all know, in any relationship, I don't know if I'm going to marry this man or not. I don't know if I'm going to marry this man or not. When you marry that man, the next thing is that, or the woman, whichever way, the next thing is that you want to make sure that you can retain the pleasure between the two of you. If you really love each other, you don't want, you care a lot about what your spouse think about you. Don't you? Sure you do, if you love each other. So the people of paradise, they care a lot about what Allah thinks about them. And Allah is saying, you know what? I know what you're thinking psychologically. You're here physically now. Psychologically, I'm assuring you that I'm going to cause my pleasure to descend on you, and I will never be displeased with you again. Say Allah Akbar. May Allah grant us to be among this. So this is it. And then now, when you think that is all it, Allah said, no, I have more. And then what is more? Okay, because okay, and this is very important. This is the climax. We've been just trying to. You know, we cannot see Allah in this world, right? Even Prophet Musa ﷺ, he tried, and we couldn't. It's because, like I said before, our body, the structure we have right now, cannot withstand the greatness of the enjoyment and the beauty and the majesty of Allah. Allah Akbar. So our body has to be transformed so that it can receive the glory and the blessings that the Jannah has to offer for us. So, and my time is up, but we have to say this one. Where is it? Aha. This is it. In the paradise, we will be able to see the face of Allah. Allah Akbar. And this is the ultimate. I think there's something about the heading that says ultimate, right? This is the ultimate enjoyment. Just being blessed to see the face of Allah. In that hadith, that was where they said, when those disciples of paradise will enter paradise, the blessed and the exalted will ask, do you wish me to give you anything more? They will say, hast thou not brightened our face? Hast thou not made us enter paradise and save us from the hellfire? Then the narrator said, Allah will lift the veil, and of things given to them, nothing will be dearer to them than the sight of their Lord, the mighty and the glorious. Allahu Akbar. So this is the climax of being in Jannah. And I want to say a few things here before I drop the mic for question and answer. There's still a lot more to say, but it's very important to listen to this part. See, in the paradise is like a pyramid, right? Yes, the structure of the 100 level or grade that we mentioned the other time. So it's like a pyramid. So at the top, the real top, La ilaha illallah, that is the throne of Allah. Al-Arsh istawa. Now, we don't know. Again, see, even the common thing we don't know. We don't know how golden tree looks. We don't know a soil that is mist. We don't really know how it looks. So, not to talk of the majesty of Allah itself, but just take it. Okay. So at the top is Allah, and then on the throne. The key thing I want to mention here is that how much you are able to enjoy seeing the face of Allah, you can prepare it now, here, on this earth. So there is this hadith, I'm just going to paraphrase very quickly. Part of the socialization in paradise is that every inhabitant of paradise, they will have the opportunity to meet Allah periodically. Now, people in the lowest level of the paradise, so they will meet Allah once a week. And many personal meeting. The seat is already been reserved. The angel will have to usher them in. And how close they get to Allah, and this is where you and I have assignment, how close they get, and everyone of us to get to Allah will depend how close you are to the Imam on Fridays. Allahu Akbar. So, no. For real. The hadith is there, but I don't think I have time to be reading it. You can check it out. So, how close you are to the Imam on Friday That's how close you will be to Allah. Personal meeting. Allah Akbar. So please make sure you attend your Friday prayer and arrive on time. In addition to those rewards that we get, when you really close to Allah, to the Imam in the front on Friday, that's how close you are. And for those who are in the higher level of Jannah, they will see Allah twice a day. Real seeing. Allah Akbar. So we ask Allah in His name mercy to make us people of Jannah and make us among those that inshallah will be able to do all the work to be able to enter the Jannah. Subhanaka wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.
Takbir. Takbir. Yeah, I know we didn't do justice to our Imam by giving him that topic and expecting him to speak to it in 45 minutes. But I hope you bear with us. And so we want to give opportunity for questions and answers. Because we have to finish this lecture by 11:20, 25-ish, so that you get enough time to go to the next lecture. So it's going to be just 2 questions. I'm asking, okay, we'll make it 4 questions. 2 from the brother side and 2 from the sister side. I already saw hands. Please, I'm going to be able to take just 2. And if you are able to, please come to the mic here. If you are able to, please come to the mic. And for the brothers too, if you are able to, Imam, can you help us select the 2? I'll make the announcement now. Yeah. Two persons. Yes, just 2. And sister, if you can go to the mic, please. Before taking the questions, I have a very, very important announcement to make. The announcement is that they've been placing, if you look around that table, there is a survey with the QR code over there. Over there is another, I think there are multiple of them around. SNMO is asking us to take, it's a marital status-based survey. The goal is to gather information that will allow NCNMO to attend to what our community needs. The kind of programs that can be, it's anonymous, but just to know the information relating to our marital status. And NCNMO is using this to be able to better understand our community and be able to come up with programs, particularly our next event. They can be topics that are very, very targeted towards who we are as people. We pray to Allah to make it easy for us. Please take them and help the organization to better understand our community. May Allah make it easy for us. So let's quickly go to the question. Please make it one question and go straight to the question. Please help us. We have to leave here in the next 15 minutes.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Imam Adisa, thank you so much for the beautiful lecture. Alhamdulillah, the question I'm going to ask, I'm standing here on behalf of all the women in this room, and I believe about 3 of us that raised up our hand, we have exactly the same question. And the question is about what you said, the last statement you said about the distance, of the people in Jannah that will be able to see Allah every day or every week or every whatever. Can you define what is the distance that a woman should have with Imam in order to be able to see Allah every day?
Thank you. Okay, thank you so much. Please note the question. The question from the other side.
Bismillah. So my question is, like you mentioned that the heart of Rasulullah was opened and washed with Zamzam, and this is going to happen also in paradise. So my question is, in the Quran, Allah says that Ilam atab qalbi salim, that no one will enter paradise unless one that comes with the heart of salim. So how do we, because we don't have the luxury of angel coming, watching our heart of all these problems, so how do we now get that heart to get to this paradise?
Okay. Thank you. The last question from the other side. Okay, so we have just two questions, please. Attend them.
Well, distance of the women to the Imam.
One more, so that I can answer them together. One more.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Such a beautiful lecture, mashallah. So it's a kind of a follow-up question to a lot of the concerns the sisters have. Like, so, you described such beautifully how paradise is going to be. So, and you also highlighted about what we could do to get to paradise, like praying, fasting. It almost seems like, not wanting to do anything else but to do all of those to be in the garden of paradise, to be able to earn the garden of paradise and please Allah. So how do we balance all the other responsibilities that we have and then still trying to be accountable to being able to do everything that we need to do to please Allah? With balancing, taking care of our husbands, taking care of our children, taking care of, working, especially as sisters, but more so, if we decide that we want to be worshiping Allah by, praying all the salat, tahajjud and all of that, and fasting and all of that, when we're fasting, we can do some other things that, we could typically do also. And then raising and taking care of our children also detracts us from a lot of the times that we could spend, in ibadah. So how do we balance that, inshallah? Jazakallah.
Okay. The distance of the women to the Imam, you have to understand that everything that Allah promised for the Jannah, it is going to be based on the sincerity of your intentions and the best of efforts you can make. Allah knows that women stays in the back, or even in Friday for that matter. In some places, they may even have to stay in their house. But when the time comes for that prayer, where is your heart? Where is it? See? Allah says it's closer to us than the jugular vein. So when the time comes for that prayer, you ask yourself, where's your heart? You see, because there may be some men sitting in front of the Imam, but he's thinking about his business. He's not even listening. Allah is going to measure everything. Okay? So, I want to assure my sisters, even if you stay in your home, because sometimes the fiqh say it's better for you to stay in your home, but when the time for the salah comes and your mind is there, that it's time for me to serve my Lord, and you were there in the corner of your room, wallahi, Allah will put you where you need to be. Okay? So that's the way to that one. Now, purifying our heart. I skip a lot of stuff. Okay? Now, for people to make it to the gate of Jannah, I skip that aspect because I was so crunchy with this time. There is the bridge, that we all know, Sirat, that we all have to go through, right? Now, it is said in some of the hadith, when you look at all of them together, nobody will enter the Jannah except in a pure state. Do you hear that? So it's not just about the heart. That Allah says there, it's already been purified. And part of the purification process is, even when you fall sick here on earth, right here now, it's tahur. It's part of the purification process. If you lose something, it's part of the purification process, right? All this trial that we go through in our mundane, regular life is purification for us, okay? So it's also part of the Calvin Salim that is building up. And when people are crossing on the Sirat, I want to say, when you're thinking of entering the Jannah, there's, let's say, two groups. Some people will enter Jannah without any difficulty, without any account. They will just go straight. May Allah make us among those. However, a lot of Muslims will not get to the Jannah until they have been in the hellfire for a while. Yes. And part of being in the hellfire for a while is also that purification process. Because, and here's another very important thing, no one that says La ilaha illallah in his heart will live in hellfire forever. No, this is an hadith. However, when it is all said and done, and the individual is now ready to be retracted away from the hellfire, yes, what is very important. They said, and I think there's an hadith to that effect, that Allah has prohibited for the hellfire to burn area where the servant is prostrating. Did you hear that? So when a lot of Muslims, we have to go into hellfire because of some sin, error here and there, and the term varies depending on what Allah wants, to purify them so that they can enter the Jannah with pure body. I ask Allah that we don't have to go through that. But we got to do some work. So now, Allah will know, by the way He has taught the angel, anybody who has some ayat of La ilaha illallah in his or her heart will not perish in hellfire. It's guaranteed. Okay? But here's the thing. When the angel comes, how will they recognize which one to take out? They said, in the fire there, as they're burning so much, the fire will not burn the area of your prostration. And what that means is they take your salah very seriously. So when that time comes, so the angel will identify those that needs to be rescued out of